Marcin Konarski, owner and course builder of this amazing facility here at Strigom. Marcin, 20 years of international competition at Strigom. That is an amazing record.
It's a long time, much longer than expected. Actually, first competition was a little bit surprise for me that we are doing, but step by step we do it 20 years.
World Cup finals, senior Europeans, underage Europeans, and now the Nations Cup. And we walk the Nations Cup today, a huge course. Strigom is famed for its technicality and big bowl jumping, a huge treat for our live stream spectators.
Oh, I think this year course is very interesting. It's a lot of interesting technical questions. There is also a couple of very bold jumps when the horses have to show the boldness and braveness, and also the riders. Yeah, let's see how this works.
Top cross-country competition in store in the Nations Cup. A lot of Nations Cup here at Strigom. Go through the course from the very beginning, Marcin.
Yeah, the first three fences are simple and single fences just to help the riders find a good rhythm. We start from a flower box, there is a mim rail and then the big table. But these fences just give the riders good feeling and find a good rhythm and actually start to be prepared for the next question. And the next question is very interesting. It's a 4 A, B, C, D. There is 4 letters, but you can jump only 2 efforts. We start from 4AB, which is an upright of the little bit mount. Then it's quite a long distance to gallop with no fence. But for me, this fence really can have an effort for the next element. How you stay on balance here, how you cover this fence, because the lines start very quickly. You have to come this line here, cross the road, and from here the questions start to be open to this angle corner. It's the first time I use this fence. We built it last month, this new open corner, which can be jumped also as an open oxer. I'm very interested how this will work on the competition.
From back here at your last standpoint, the horse only views the corner. But as he gets closer, there's the other option coming into view.
Yes, we have 2 options here to jump. One is a direct route upright to the corner, but the second option is open oxer, just there behind the PZU banners. This PZU is our new sponsor this year. And then you carry on to the other mim rail, and then you can round here, straight on even strides and jump oxer. Of course, this is much easier way, much less risk, but also consuming a time.
How much time approximately do you think it would add, that longer route?
It's not much. My intention on this time of the course was not to penalize the riders too much if they use the option, but they will use another effort. They will use also another risk to have even penalties with a mim rail. I think it's something very comparable for me.
Yeah. So getting well into the track at this stage, horse has found his rhythm to that first combination at 4. Next combination at 6, but a nice fence at 5 before that.
Yeah, my goal for this competition, it's because the Strigom is very flat, we know, but the cross-country have to be cross-country. I try to use as much as terrain as possible here and create a really cross-country test, not just steeplechase on flat. And I think this year it's a really cross-country. I use every mountains, hills and holes what I can find here and what I create in years. Yes, fence 5, it's on the top of the hill, very spectacular for spectators hedge. It's a feeling fence for horses. Again, you can come back to the rhythm, but for spectacular it will be great to see the horses landing 2 meters down. And then it's a little bit of gallop, and then again we come to the new little hole what I did just to break a little the rhythm and just to see a cross-country riding, proper cross-country riding, that the riders have to balance the horses, slow down a little bit before this hole, and then go through the hole, and just after they have to take off here from flat, and it's a 1 stride distance with 2 angle horses. They are not very much angle, but all together with this little hole, it's a completely different question than just on flat. I think this can be an interesting question.
It's a lovely change of balance for the horse, and the horse must all
Exactly.
the time.
It's a cross-country riding. The
Yes.
cross-country have to be cross-country.
Yes. And your craftsmen here at Stregam, beautiful craftsmen here, and these horses and deer and everything that they make is real quality. There's a black flag to this if they should need it.
Yes, they have an option here. They can jump the A element here, the narrow head here, from right turn, and then carry on to the second B element. It's of course less risky, but consuming a time. I personally don't think so. The riders try it, but maybe someone want to use it. Why not? If you have a bit younger horse on the beginning of the course, you can use it.
Yes. Horse has plenty of energy at the start of the track, and he'll be looking for those flags. And it's a beautiful straight line.
Yeah, and also it's something because of this little terrain here that you don't really see a second element if you are still here on the middle of the hole. You have to come, and then the second element start to be presented for the horse. Yeah, it can be interesting.
It's a very good introduction as well to angles, because they're going to meet much stronger angles further down the track.
Yeah, that is also my idea, to build the horses and riders in the track. Definitely, this is a little bit angle. We come much more later on in the course. I think it's good to be prepared for the next step.
From the brush horses, yes, that big combination offset to a big table into space, it looks like from here. It's a lovely fall of ground away from this table.
Yeah, it's a lovely big table, very big table actually, with quite a deep landing. Of course it's a filling fence, but this fence it's something what start to be a part of the next question here. The riders have to really pay attention how they jump this table, because we have quite a long distance here, but still going downhill, and then we come to the mim rail on the front of the hollow, and you have to be sure that your horse is properly collected, properly ready to jump this, and also with a good contact, with a good rhythm, and especially with a good balance going downhill. And also you have some view behind that the terrain is going down. It's again part of my cross-country story here this year. That's we use the cross-country as much as possible, that we have a mim rail, then go down to the hollow, and then it's a 90-degree turn up the hill, and again you have to be strong, precise, and very accurate how you present the second element for the horses, because it's quite narrow.
The rise of ground, you're going to lose some revs going up as well. You can ride at this. You must get that hind end engaged.
Welcome on cross country. That's a cross country. Cross country must allow the riders take also decision about the striding. We can say it's a 7, 8, 9 strides, but the cross country can change everything. And actually for me here, it's not a striding. You have to jump the first element, and then you have to ride your horse how it's good for him.
It's a lovely uphill approach, and they are well accustomed to these brush skinny fences.
Just after this brush we turn left, and then we have another filling fence, and then we come to the next question, which will be very interesting as well.
Yes, they've got right into the meat of the track here. We're up as far as 10 AB and C and D.
Yeah, that's a place where I use very often. I like this hollow here. It's again cross-country riding here. We start from again from a big table, but it's a completely different approach to the hollow. Now we jump the skinny narrow head, which is quite narrow and quite deep. You have to come positive. I expect that the horses will land almost here in the hollow, because the profile of this fence allow them to fly, and also the distance what I offer here, it's also distance which encourage to be positive. For me the horses will land here, and it's a very positive 3-stride distance. I expect that most of horses will take off here, but you have to be precise, positive, and all the time with a good forward rhythm with your horse in the hollow. Otherwise this distance can come very long. I can also see a point when some horses will do a 4 strides here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and they won't know until they land what they've got, and that's again cross-country riding.
Exactly. Here we are in the cross country. You have to be able to accommodate to the situation. You can plan, but you must have a plan B, C and D.
Well, this is A, B, C and D, and this is the first track I've always seen here at Stragam where you have options to jump the two fences as one jumping effort.
I like to have options, maybe not very time consuming, because actually this question here, it's not much different on time. I think it's 1 or 2 seconds, but it's a little bit different type of question. It's again for the riders. Just let them think what's for the horses is better, what they like it more. If they like it more some positive open distance between two triple hedges, or they want to have an angle corner just after the hollow. The option for CD triple hedge is to, after element B, stay on the line to the angle corner and then the bending fourth stride to the navel skinny. But again, if you use every option, you jump more and more efforts because the option is consuming more efforts, and this can cost horses more power.
Yes, cumulative effect again, and but lovely options, and it's a lot of decisions for a rider at the top level, and it's a real challenge as you hope to get.
I think this is the future of the eventing, that the riders have to use her head to ride and be able to change decision and accommodate to the situation where they are.
Yeah, perfect. We're at 12, we're at the water. There's going to be a lot of people here. Real excitement coming up at the first of the waters here on the Nations Cup course.
The first part was quite intense, and this was later was a little bit part with a more open gallop to give the horses and riders a little bit more rhythm again, and also help them to find a new inspiration for the next fences after quite a tough beginning. And now we are here. I was not long time here on this bank. I think I used it 10 years ago, first time, and then there was a break. And now again this year, with my story about the cross-country riding this year, I love it to jump here and try how the riders can stay in balance to the next fences after this big drop.
The horse will come up the mound, he won't see what's coming until he's on the mound, and then plenty to see.
I think it's enough flat here to realize where they are, but of course for some horses can be a little bit surprised when they come on top and see this huge difference from here to the water.
They're used to drops into water, and big challenges await.
This will come later. First you have to handle the drop. I think it's connected together, but the riders have to be concentrated with a drop, jump properly, not too much, but enough, and then found the line to the next two fences.
Excellent, excellent. So the first man to go over this drop is our director, is Marcin Konarski. Marcin, you're going to get a good drop off of the lotto drop in the water.
That's exactly the point. It's how you jump this drop determine the successful of the next question. You have to stay on balance, but you also have to be able to collect your horse very quickly and found a rhythm for the angle hedges, which come sooner than you think. It's nominated 7 or 8 stride distance, but actually 2 or 3 strides you lost with a big drop and finding the balance. And actually just from here you have to stay on the line to the 2 hedges.
So a lovely brave shot, a lovely forward shot through the 2 stride distance, offset through the woods, a lovely cooling moment in the woods, and then for a big white oxer in behind us.
Yeah, it's a very intense part on this part of the course, but I tried to give one single effort just to come back a little bit with a feeling, come back with a balance and of trust between a horse and rider. And this oxer, I hope, will help me on this. And then just after this oxer, we come back to the water with another big ball jump. It's a quite base spread also, that you have to come very positive. Again, you have a drop about 170, 180 centimeter here to the water, and the questions start exactly here. You have a distance here to the left open corner, and then it's a 3 stride distance to the other corner. I will try to walk a distance. I expect the horses will land somewhere here. Maybe some will jump just before the water, maybe some land in the water, and we start from here. It's a 5 strides distance, depend how you jump. If you jump positive, possibly you can wait a little bit for your 5th strides. If you jump very shortly, it's up to rider's decision. If they go forward for 5, or they can go a little bit more bent on 6 strides, what I think it's also possible. But then you are a little bit complicate your job for the next corner, because for the next corner definitely it's again 3 or 4 stride distance, but for me much easier to jump on 3 than on 4. This big corner, the horses will land somewhere here, and from here and take off for another corner. But again, it's possible to ride 6 and 4 stride as well. But I expect most horses will do 5 and 3.
Marcin, having one corner open to the left and the next open to the right, you are looking for 100% straightness in your horse.
Exactly, and control the line. This is something what's my little bit obsession. Building the courses, that I try to keep the riders concentrated, how they control the line. It's for me part of the safety in eventing, because as much the riders control their horses, as much they control the line, as better they ride, and this is what you want.
It is a team sport, isn't it? Horse and rider, and this is what eventing does. It shows us the best of that partnership, that horse-human partnership. It is fantastic.
Exactly, this partnership, it's something what is very unique in our sports. We must remember the horses never walk this course like we walk. We can explain, the riders have a trainer, and the horses have a second to react. They come on the top of this hill for the big drop, and they have to look at and jump it. This is only about the trust.
Yes, it is fascinating, and we are lucky to enjoy it. And they're lucky to enjoy it here in this Lotto Nations Cup. We see our Lotto marks here all over the water. Well done, Lotto. You have a real fence to call.
Yeah, the Lotto, it's our title sponsor since 7 years now. We are very happy to have Lotto with us. It's helping a lot to develop sport in Poland and also develop our competition.
For those that want a longer route and an option here at 16A,
yeah, these 2 corners are a decent question for this level, and we talk a lot with TD, with Eric Winter, what we can do here, and we need a longer route or not, and we decide to give a chance. The less experienced horses and riders have a little bit option here, that they can jump a big house to the water, carry on around the rope, jump this fence on top of the hill, and then left turn to the second corner. That's we are still confident that they jump a corner in the water, what was the intention, but much easier.
Yeah, lovely to have that option. So we're at fence 17, the Giant's Bed, I call it, big dimension table from DCU.
Yeah, my intention after the water, which was very intense part, to give horses and riders a little bit break and a little bit again time to relax and found a new rhythm. Yes, we start from a big table, and then we come to the second water fence. This time it's sponsored by DCU. It's a 2 meme rail, one into the water, one out of the water. It's a 2 technically very simple fences, but again it's about the cross-country riding, how the horses are brave, jump to the water. This meme rail looks quite decent from approach point of view. It's cross-country fence, but it's not very difficult technically. But this was exactly my intention, to give horses and riders a little bit relax in mind and relax in the head to come to the final conclusion of this course, which come a little bit later on the course. From this water we go to the 2 mountains again with 2 simple houses. It's up to the riders what they want to use. They can do it 6 strides, a little bit on angle, or 7, 8 or even 9 strides, more bending line. It is all fine for me. It's just to keep them concentrated, and again they have to ride properly the distances here.
Beautifully crafted houses they are too, and I think they shall jump beautiful again up the hill. It's like a roller coaster, isn't it? And the horses will love it. They'll be forward rhythm and enjoy.
Exactly, this place is a little bit like a roller coaster. You jump down, then you jump up, then you go over the hill and then downhill and again over the second hill with a second house. It's a little bit roller coaster, but it is something what keep the riders concentrated, and the horses, and for horses also the fences on the top of the hill look spectacular. They jump it better.
I think they love that downhill run as well. It gives them impetus as well, coming down that downhill run.
Yeah.
No, we're nearly there.
We're nearly there, but it's still something to jump.
Absolutely. Marcin, we're here at fence 21. We're nearly home. A big combination there before they cross the driveway to that last combination. 21, again, a lovely technical question for them.
There was a lot of cross-country questions on my course this year, and now we are a little bit closer to home. I still have a very interesting question here, but a little bit more on flat. There was a very intense part on the water, then we have another water fence, and there was a lovely canter. We come up of the trees here, and we start this question from an angle hedge, and it's two options again. Both options have to jump this angle hedge here. That's a line to jump this, and then after this hedge you have to take your decision where you go. You can go to the left open meme corner and then left turn to the angle hedge. It's a 4-stride distance here and 3-stride distance there. Or it's another option here. After this hedge, you carry on your canter here, you come off of turn and jump this angle hedge with a 2-stride distance to the skinny. It's again for me option to give a riders think what is better for their horses, what is better for what they like it more. I'm pretty sure the riders will use both option. The second option, the first element is a little bit more difficult because you have to accept the really angle on the first hedge to come here on the right place to attack the second two elements. And you have to attack a little bit because the distance between first hedge and the skinny, it's a forward distance, it's a positive distance that you have to come here. You have to use this turn and the positive forward going to the second element. And of course with a corner, it's also quite open distance, and on the end of the course we know the horses can be a little bit longer the stride, the jumps can be flatter, that is a little bit of risk of having 11 penalties. It is up to the rider what they want. Is there much of a time difference between the different options? No, I don't think so. It's a second difference, but no, I don't think so. It's a time difference. I built these two options not for the difference of time, not for the difference of difficulties. Actually, my goal was to have more or less the same difficulty of the both questions, but just to give the riders the option what they want to use. Yes, some horses are very strong on narrow brushes, some angle brushes, so you have your choice. Exactly. Yeah. But on the end, the principle is mostly the same. You have to negotiate really angle hedge on the beginning or on the end. Up to you. Good. Good, good, and they're nearly home. One more combination to go before they go through those finishing flags. What a real good test it is for our Nations Cup here cross country. Marcin, we're here at 23, fence 23 in this Lotto Strigom Nations Cup. They're just about home, but just one last combination to encounter, 23A, 23B. Yes, that's a little bit my philosophy, to keep the riders and horses concentrated to the last jump actually. And the last question now is very close to the last fence. It's just 40 meters from a last fence. And again, it's a question what you have to pay a lot of attention. You must also control the power what you have on your horse to the end. We start this combination with a big box to the water. It's not a very big landing. It's just about 160, but it's quite a lot of base spread. You have to jump this properly, and then you have a 4-stride distance to this skinny hedge, and then just go to this last fence. There is an option here. Actually, for me, the direct routes here on the end, it's quite interesting line. The horses which are a little bit tired here, or riders want to come just home because they already have a run out and they count for the team and they want to bring good results for the team, they can use an option to jump a hedge near this little bush, then turn through the water, jump this little house, and then turn left to the last fence. It's very simple. Of course, this is time consuming, but give a chance to bring a result home with another refusals.
Excellent. Fourth time in the water. Isn't it brilliant to have them 4 times in the water? And with a warm temperature, they're going to be beautifully showered when they get home.
That's for sure. But again, I love it to use a terrain. I love it to use a cross country. As on the beginning we discussed, the main goal this year is to give as much as cross country as possible. And for me, crossing the water, it's a typical cross country fence.
And very camera friendly as well. It will be lovely to see the splash of the horse through the water.
Of course, and also the public love this, and I'm pretty sure we'll enjoy it to watch.
And well done KOWR and all your title sponsors. Fantastic. You have great backing here at Stragam as always, Marcin.
Yeah, we have, thanks a lot our sponsors to be with us, to stay with us for the long time and support this what we are doing here.
And for your Polish team, you are the linchpin for the Polish team, already qualified of course for the Paris Olympics. You must be very, very proud of your team.
Oh yes, of course, that's always nice when the home nations qualify to the Olympics, and congratulations for them and good luck in the Olympics.
Marcin, we've had a tremendous course walk, and to all those watching, make sure you watch the cross-country live action here from the Nations Cup. Don't miss it. We look forward to your company then.